This is episode 217 of the Super League pod. One of the ones with the fewest Super League games of the year to cover, but the longest show of the year so far, go figure. But all the games we did have included controversy over the cheapness of shots, the application of obstruction rules and the winning of penalties. And that's before the drama of the Challenge Cup too. This week, it's one to strap yourselves in for. It's Super League pod time. Hello everyone, it is episode 217, yes 217 of the Super League pod. This is Mark here as almost always, and I'm joined this week by Bradford Bulls fan Alan. How are you doing, Alan? You well?
Yeah, I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I've had a serious dose of the little C over the last week.
Yeah, you sounded slightly less husky, slightly, if I may say so, slightly less sexy this week.
Well, it might pick up as we go along because I probably haven't done this much talking all week that we're gonna do now. It's just been I've not normally ever off work sick, but I was off work for a day and a half as well in the middle of last week just because I was so knackered. Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe this is getting old. Maybe this is it. Now I'm old.
Well, they've been having the pound of flesh out of you recently, haven't they? So maybe it's just taking a toll.
Yes, yeah, that's a fair point. I've not done quite as long days in the last couple of days that I've been in. How about you? You've been busy since you were last on the show, have you?
Yeah, it's only a couple of weeks, isn't it? We were on holiday, went to Filey for the week, which was nice. So yeah, for Leeds kids, the Easter holidays have just finished, rather randomly. So just as Easter's coming up, they're going back to school. But yeah, so we had a nice week there, and I was at the game yesterday, which we'll talk about.
Yeah, very exciting. Bradford against Featherstone.
It certainly was, and yeah, I saw a good film yesterday as well, which will be my recommend. So stick around for that one.
Excellent. I haven't even thought about what I'm recommending this week. I don't think I'll have one. I don't think I've got one. Not to have a cold, maybe, but that's a.
I'm going to say which version of Lemsip do you recommend?
Do you want to tell us who's sponsoring episode 217 of the Super League pod, Al?
Certainly, yes. So this episode is sponsored by Little Warden. If you have a website, then visit littlewarden.com and see what they can do for you. They can help you with domain expiration checks, redirects, and all sorts of other important background web stuff that they'll make simple for you. Little Warden, monitoring the tedious.
We need to change that, don't we? Dom told us
change that.
last week. Got the strap line for the company's changed. He didn't send me it through, so I don't know. But there you go. Nothing ever is tedious with Little Warden, though, so there you go. Right, what we've got coming up, we've got a lot of news this week. Our friend Tom Andrews has had a lot to say about it all too, so I've threatened him with he's going to have to come and co-host if he's going to have a view on every story. And I think I'm not sure if he's keyed, but we'll see how it goes. We've only got 4 Super League games to go through again, and the Super League website has let us down on the stats. So yeah, not loads of stats to talk about, but we've got all the individual stats still to tell you who were performing high in that regard, and there's still plenty to talk about from this weekend's games. We've got a few reviews in the Cup games too. I put all the bits together for the NRL this week, so we've got the stats and the Britwatch stuff all covered this week, which I forgot to do last week. So we've got plenty to get on with. Before we get into the main event of the show, news and match reviews, we're going to first start with a little bit of feedback we've had in from David Cantrell, who last week flagged up for us all to make sure we were aware of the Power Mary film that's out and doing a little bit of a tour. I think possibly some people might be watching it in Wakefield tonight as we're recording this. There's Warrington and Leeds this week, and then there's Manchester and Huddersfield in May, and some screenings down under as well around the start of May. So there's plenty of opportunities to go and watch the Power Mary film. Go to the website that we said last week, which I think is just powermaryfilm.co.uk or something. But
yeah, if you just put Power Mary film in, it came up for me. So yeah.
There you go. So that's where you can find out more about the screenings. But Alan, David Cantrell watched it in the screening in London last Monday, and he's sent in a film review. So do you want to read that out for everyone?
Okay, so David says, this documentary film about the Orchids, PNG's National Women's Rugby League team, follows the team from their formation just a few weeks before their first match to their exit from the World Cup in 2017, with a very brief "Where are they now?" section at the end. It shows some of the really nasty, poisonous social media commentary about them, and many of the players talk about not being taken seriously and about the bad treatment of women in PNG. But it also shows how attitudes changed over a short period when they demonstrated on the field that they should be taken just as seriously as the Cummels. It goes out of its way to show that the women are ordinary people embedded in their communities and not weird superhumans that are somehow different from normal people. Many of the players who are still in the squad and have several games lined up over the next few months, now work in programmes to promote equality through rugby, paid for by the NRL and from the Australian government's aid budget. The film was at times moving, infuriating. You want to reach through the screen and punch some of the Neanderthal social media commenters. Funny, and of course, in some of the many rugby clips, you want to shout at the ref.
So it sounds like it had a bit of everything there.
Everything in that, yeah, definitely, yeah. It sounds intriguing, and I definitely plan to get myself to a screening.
Yeah, for certain, and I understand that you were hoping to go to the lead screening, but you've been usurped by our film podcaster from
yes,
from the Kale family.
Yeah, to be fair, it was my idea. So Anna's going to go speak to the director, Joanna Lester, while she's in the country. Obviously, she's an Australian, I believe, and obviously she's not here for long. So we want to.
I think she's British, but based now in Australia /PNG with the work that she does. Yeah.
We'll find out. Yes, so Anna's going to go talk to her about the film, and it felt like a nice coming together of worlds. So hopefully we'll have something on that in a future SLP short. So look out for you in your podcast feeds.
Excellent. Well,
something very soon.
Yeah, for sure. And anyone else who goes and watches the film, feel free to get in touch as well with your views on it, or any other like rugby league film out there. This is quite. Quite cool, isn't it? It's an opportunity for us to discuss something a little bit different
completely.
than just the action on the field. I think it's last year we had the couple of documentaries as well that the BBC did that were fantastic, and now this, so plenty for us to get our teeth into as rugby league fans.
Yeah.
Right, let's get stuck into the news.
Yep. So to news now in the world of rugby league this week. And first of all, Cast Tigers coach Dol Powell has been given a suspended £5,000 fine by the RFL for entering the field of play during his side's 42-12 defeat by St Helens in March. Powell's punishment for breaching operational rule D1/13 takes into account his acceptance of the breach and assurance that it will not occur again, as well as the club's approach and assistance with all aspects of the matter. And Tom Andrews has been in touch for this one, and he says for £5,000 he could have gotten a hitman to take out Greg Eden. What an expensive death stare that was.
Well, to be fair, it's actually cost him nothing as long as he behaves himself. And it's been a while since his unnecessary outburst when he didn't know the rules as they applied to onside and offside a few years ago when he blasted one of the referees in his post-match. So. And for a few days afterwards in all his interviews, it seemed. So it's been a while since he's breached any operational rules. Yeah. So I can't see that he's actually going to pay up on this fine. I don't know what you think, Al, but I think it's just a stern slap on the wrist for something that was outside of the rules and very visible to everyone as well, because it happened during a televised match.
Of course. Yeah.
So I think everyone had to be seen to be acting in accordance with the spirit of the rules, and the Cast Tigers have followed that stance just as much as the RFL have, by the looks of what this has been said, with all the assistance and contrition and all of that.
Yeah, it seems like it, as you say, it's an exceptional thing, and let's all move on.
Yeah, it's a stern slap on the wrist and no more really. Okay. Someone else who might deserve a bit of a slap. Sean Edwards will not become head coach of Wigan Warriors as planned at the end of the Super League season. Edwards, who's 52, was presented to the media in August last year when he talked of testing himself in Rugby League, having coached exclusively in Union. However, after a successful Six Nations campaign as part of Warren Gatland's Wales coaching team, Edwards is expected to remain on the staff. It looks like he's going to be like co-defensive coach, which bit of a soft gig, if you ask me. He says... I will not be taking up the head coaching role at Wigan. The reason is my lack of preparation. World Cup preparations have been brought forward a month, and as a result, I will be unable to spend 8 weeks in Australia as planned on Rugby League. I feel Wigan need a more experienced Rugby League head coach than myself to give the club and the people of Wigan the best team possible.
Yes, in unsurprising news this week. I mean, it's not a surprise to any rugby league fan. Certainly not any Wigan fan.
No.
It is an interesting point about the need for a more experienced coach. I'm not saying this is the reason, by the way. I'm not covering for the fact that this is a potentially a predominantly financial decision, but I do think there is definitely a case to answer in terms of and
lifestyle decision.
He has
Why
a level.
wouldn't you want a gig that's 8 weeks, 10 weeks in the spring, and then another 8 weeks in the autumn, and that's pretty much it? Why wouldn't you want that if you're going to get paid approximately the same as well?
No, well, exactly.
It's a safe bet as well, isn't it? He's not the main man. He's not in charge. It's not him who's delivering much, and he's already had success there. It's a little bit cowardly taking the safe option, not taking a risk, to me. But that's the line that's trotted out, innit?
Yeah, but I do think that we do need somebody with a level of experience,
because it's a rebuild, isn't it? George Williams go in, potentially Noah Loughlin or Luluai next year either. It's a big rebuild, so maybe he's onto something, and like you say.
But yeah, I still think it's an excuse.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. It feels there feels like an element of truth to it. Like you say, it does ring true. And lots of people were questioning whether it was right anyway when it first was announced. But we sort of thought, well, he's got a year and a bit to get his head around things, and he's going to put a good shift into it in the summer, so should be okay. But no, that's not happening. Look, Edwards and Lenigan come out of this embarrassing themselves and embarrassing my club, both of them, and I'm not too chuffed about the way it's all gone about. I'm just glad there's a line drawn under it now, because we've known for a while that he wasn't coming. It's waiting to get it properly confirmed, and that's the problem with some of these statements that come out from rugby league clubs these days, and my club is maybe the most guilty of them all. They seem so deliberate and considered that you can't take them face value, even if it is the truth. You feel like it's not, because why is it taking so long to tell something that really was happening?
Yeah.
But anyway, I
guess we would say best of luck
to him, but with no ill feeling towards Sean Edwards. I don't give a shit how good or bad a job he does for Wales in rugby union, or any club rugby union side, or anything along those lines. So I just draw a line under it, move on, and I would say that I wouldn't know where to start on speculating on who Wigan's next coach would be at this stage, because it's just I think we've got to deal with the immediate issues that the club facing first of all. So maybe the conversation starts talking about, is Lam even the right man now? I personally think he deserves a bit more time, but then if he's definitely being replaced at the end of the year and we know who that's going to be and that person is available, then different conversations need to be had.
Oh, there's plenty of space for some more statements to come out from Lenigan yet. We'll wait and see what transpires over the summer.
I would prefer for something to actually happen than just a statement being made. But we shall see. At least this one was quite lengthy, very detailed. That's when you always feel like they've spent the time like putting together the statement, and that's when they feel a little bit on the, like I say, disingenuous side. But anyway, let's move on. Who've Leeds Rhinos signed? You've got to do this one.
Yeah. So Leeds Rhinos have signed Cronulla Sharks prop Eva Seyumenifanai. Say you Menifenai, I think it is. Well, something like that. On a 2.5-year contract, the 27-year-old New Zealander has played 118 games in the NRL for West Tigers and the Sharks.
We had a couple of people get in touch. M9UHL, who is just called, let's call him Josh,